What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the cave. I'm GrizzlyCon, and today we're going to be reviewing 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Now, upon leaving the theater, I can tell you I was very pleasantly surprised at how much I liked this movie. The only previous work I've seen from Nia DaCosta was The Marvels. Certainly not a favorite entry of mine in the MCU, but upon seeing this movie, I wonder at how much of the Marvels that I didn't like was actually Nia DaCosta's decisions or Marvel's decisions. Now, the only trailer that I had seen from this movie was way back in October of 2025, so I didn't have a fresh idea of what this movie was going to be about going into it. But I'm happy to say it picks up right where the first one left off. Spike had just run into the Jimmies, and man oh man, are they a bloodthirsty pack of heathens. Now, while I will say Spike is definitely not the main character of this movie, so if you're going in expecting to see how his story progressed, you get a little bit of that, but it's not so much about Spike. I felt like Ray Fiennes' character of Dr. Ian Kelson is definitely the main character of this movie, but honestly, I'm not too sad about it. I liked him a lot in the last movie, and to see where his story kind of goes and his relationship with Samson the Alpha was very interesting, very different take on a zombie movie. It's not all just running from the zombies the entire time, which I feel like has gotten to be a little bit of an old trope that we see a lot nowadays, especially with anything to do with zombies, Walking Dead, Army of the Dead, all that. It was a nice, refreshing surprise to see something that was a little different, a little out there. Now, right away, again, we pick up right where the first one left off. Spike has just run into the Jimmy crew, and without going too far into spoilers, just to set the scene a little bit, Spike is put into a life or death situation where he's forced to fight one of the Jimmy members. If he lives, he gets to become part of the crew and continue on with them. If he doesn't win, well, story's over. Now, the way that fight progresses was pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting to see the kind of spray that comes from that scene, but a very cool death. Again, Spike is really not the main character of this story. There's no sign or mention of his dad, Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's still on the island, I'm guessing. Maybe we'll see more about him in the next movie. I know he wasn't even in any of the trailers for this one, so I guess we'll see when or if he comes back in the next movie. Now, the Jimmies. Oh my goodness. I was very impressed by the acting from everyone involved in that group. They are sinister, they are brutal, bloodthirsty. They really sell it to you. I guess even in the post-apocalyptic world, there are still some people who just want to see the world burn. Now, I felt that pretty much everybody in the movie gave a great performance. However, there was one person who fell a little flat for me. You'll know her from her other works, such as Solo, A Star Wars Story, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I feel like she kind of has one of those Kirsten Stewart faces where every scene you just kind of get the same look, that same blank stare. And while I think she is supposed to kind of come off as a little bit crazy in the movie, that face doesn't really work for every scene, and unfortunately, she pretty much keeps it throughout the entire movie. She just comes off as a little too stoic. If in the next film she can give off, a little bit more energy, that definitely could help her performance problem. Now, if you want to talk about someone who absolutely killed their role, Ray Fiennes all the way, baby. Dr. Ian Kelson, very interesting. I loved him in the first one, and the sequel definitely didn't disappoint with his character. His role in the film definitely takes the story in a very interesting place. As we saw in the first entry, he's developed a relationship with the alpha zombie, who he's taken to name Samson based on his size. Their relationship has definitely evolved into something a lot more than predator versus prey. Some of the interactions they have together even come off as very comedic at times. Kelson really has to start to come to grips with the loneliness that he's feeling in the world. I think Kelson's starting to go a little stir crazy from not having that social interaction anymore. Honestly, he's probably one of my favorite parts of the movies. Again, I really love his performance, really sells his character. Jack O'Connell as Jimmy Crystal, oh my god. He's really nailing these antagonist roles that he's getting into lately. Really enjoyed him in Sinners. He's honestly one of my favorite parts of Sinners. And this performance in this movie is just top notch as an antagonist. You come to find that he believes he is actually the son of Satan, and he's selling these lies to the rest of his group. He really feeds into the cult leader role, and it works for this movie. He is unapologetically violent, bloodthirsty. At one point in the film, Jimmy and his crew find some survivors and they take them captive, and Jimmy Crystal instructs the other Jimmys to enact what he calls charity on the captives, and oh man, talk about a hard scene to watch. Makes your skin crawl. Ooh. So I guess we'll end it there. This movie is definitely out there. I'm very interested to see where the story is heading. There's a big surprise appearance in this movie. If you know, you know. The ending scene of the movie made me very excited to see where we're going from here. Overall, I'd give this movie an 8 out of 10. Thought it was very good. I am excited to see more good performances. For the most part, the effects and the camera work were amazing. It's very synonymous with the first entry, so I'm really happy they kept to that style. It just makes it all flow very well. For more reviews like this on movies, TV, and games, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm GrizzlyCon, and remember, the cave is always open.